Bruce Arians, Tom Brady, there was some back and forth stories going on with those two guys. I mean, he said they don't really like each other, but every time in front of the camera, they say, oh, we're fine and we're okay. But we saw instances where throughout the game, throughout the season last year, where they didn't seem like they were on the same page. Tom, at the end of the year, he said he was going to retire and be done with football, go spend time with the family. But he came back. I guess he saw the landscape of the NFC, quarterbacks changing and moving around. Aaron Rodgers lost Devontae Adams. San Fran, their quarterback situation is unsettled. The Rams have, they've just kept adding guys. They've lost Von Miller, gained Allen Robinson from the Chicago Bears.
And Bobby Wagner.
They are staying afloat. Tom is one of those guys that, at this point of his career, he's been around a lot, different teams. He knows the game from the quarterback position. Still waiting on him to kind of fall off, and he hasn't fell off. Maybe it's because of the knowledge that he has in the game and the type of personnel that's around him that allows him to continue to play at a high level. It's Bruce Arians, Tom Brady thing. Give your thoughts on that. What do you think went on with that, and why Bruce Arians moved up to manage it? All of a sudden this happened. Things just changed. What do you think happened with him and Tom? Because what they're saying to us, I don't really believe. Mm-hmm. I think something happened behind the scenes.
If you remember the year that they won, when they came here and lost in Soldier Field, and Tom couldn't remember it was 4th down and 3rd down.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, remember that?
Absolutely.
That was around the time, maybe it might have been a game before or a game after that. I think it might have been before, where Bruce came at Tom in the media, basically talking about, they were talking, I think the media was questioning his play calling and whatnot. And Bruce basically was like, no, the play's open. It's not being executed. So he was basically throwing Tom under the bus. Yeah. And it was more in essence of, it wasn't so much the play didn't work. It was Tom doesn't have the arm strength. And if anybody, I know we don't want to get into the minutia of it, but
right.
Just long story short, Bruce Arians is the type of offensive coach. There's really two types of coaches. There's a West Coast coach that goes for 7 to 10, 12 yards, catch and run.
Yep.
There's the other coaches like the Al Davises and things of that, play action pass, go deep.
Yep.
Bruce is the second. He's play action pass, go deep ends, deep passes, 15, 20-yard passes.
Yep.
Tom does not necessarily fit Bruce's offense. And so if you remember that first year, they were kind of butting head. And then eventually they kind of settled in on a form of what Tom was doing in New England as far as the quick passing game and all that. Absolutely.
Yep.
Now, we can debate on why it worked, but it did work. Then we come into the next year because, and I've said this before, so I'm going to say this again. Anything that was COVID-related had a lot to do with continuity more than talent to me. And that's anything, NBA, NFL, anything. That's another conversation. But then the following year, when everybody's on the same page, everybody has the same opportunity, Tom and them, they bring back everybody. That issue was not settled with Bruce and Tom. It was just they won.
Yep.
And so what's the rule? Winning covers up a lot of stuff.
Absolutely.
And so as the season went on, they were winning. Good things were happening. But then you started to see late in the season, Tom was having the same issue that he had last year. He wasn't able to go deep, it was getting colder and things of that nature. The catch-22 in this conversation is, and this is what confuses me, is they had home field and they lost. Tom's arm strength had nothing to do with that because it was warm, it was nice outside, it was a good day. They even made a comeback, and then Cooper Kupp made his catch or whatever, and then they won. But Tom was looking fine. So then when Tom retires at the end of the year, because let's go chronologically. When Tom retires at the end of the year, right, we're all thinking he's done, right? We're all thinking he's done. And just like you say, all the movement started happening. A lot of players started going over to the AFC. Mm-hmm. Tom starting to see the landscape, maybe loosening up. Maybe I got another run in me. And I'm going to throw the cherry on top. Skip Bayless talked about years ago when Tom was 40 that he has some products coming out, nutritional products, things of that nature, him and his trainer. And it's supposed to be called TB45. Tom's only got one more year to get to 45. This man has a plan in place, not only to win, but to have a post-career income that is going to supplement him and his family till he drops off this planet. He has a plan. This is now getting into that Brett Favre territory. I don't know if I want to play. I want to play. If I'm going to play, you have to bring my players. And Brett wasn't even on that, bring his players. It was just, I just don't know if I want to play or not. Yeah. But now Tom is getting on this old, hey, if I'm going to play, I have to have my kind of coaches. I got to have my kind of players. And so this delves into the question of, and we talked about this, is Tom Brady like some doctors or some people who are in high professions when they have, a lot of power? Is he having a God complex in front of our eyes?
To a degree. Maybe it's because he's won so much. He doesn't see it like that. He just feels like, I'm navigating as best as I can with the time I have left. I'm seeing openings here with different quarterback needs here and there. This team, because he tried to get to San Fran this offseason. But
and the Dolphins.
I'm never going to take that away from any player. When you feel like you can still play and things of that nature and you see a loophole where, it can work. But what I have a problem with to a degree is how everyone else is like catering to him and allowing him to do this. And that's why I say that God complex is somewhere. It's not full throttle maybe because he seems like a nice guy, humble at times. I don't know. It could be an act, but there is some God complexy there that I'm seeing a space he's kind of navigating and he's getting what he wants when he wants it. He's even being able to manipulate upper management, the owners and stuff. So, yeah.
Well, and then also he was doing this in New England. Remember, they wanted to get rid of him then, and he went to the owner.
Yeah.
So he's
Garoppolo. He's the one got Garoppolo pushed out.
Right. So he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
It's just that power struggle with him and Belichick, he knew at some point he was going to lose that.
Now,
and
you
so
don't think that played into this Bruce Arians thing?
Absolutely. Because he's like, I already went through Bill. And see, the thing is that this is so funny. He knew he couldn't uproot Bill. He knew that. So that's why he left.
Yeah.
And see, at least with Bruce winning a championship and his first one as a head coach,
right?
He's like, yeah, I still got a little more pull than him. And basically, and it wasn't like he forced it. I'm going to tell you probably how he did it. He went to upper management, was like this. I think I still kind of want to play, but I'm not sure if I can do it with Bruce.
So if you want me back,
I might have to have someone different.
Yeah,
and then let me tell you this, because if we're going to go down that route, well, what if we name Byron? No, I need Byron as my offensive coordinator. So now he's possibly.
How about Todd?
Okay, Todd's good because I need someone to take care of the D, which is covering my butt, which won me my ring. By the way, it wasn't Tom. It was that defense.
Yeah, this is a play for him to manipulate that
and
offense
to have complete control of the offense.
Well, this is a good thing for Byron Leftwich, where he can get some hands-on kind of Josh McDaniels, Tom Brady type situation where they're working neck and neck, and they probably were doing that. But another year, because I don't know if he's ready to be a head coach yet.
Right.
We talked about that.
Yep.
I think Todd Bowles was the better choice for this
I
year
do
or two.
I do too.
And 2 years later, maybe he'll be ready to take this on.
With Todd Bowles getting this job, how much pressure is he really under? And now, mind you, this is his second job.
True.
Shannon made this point.
Yeah.
He is the first black coach to get a second job, listen, in a winning situation. Most black coaches are given the chance to rebuild. When their coach was there, Tampa's coach, he was rebuilding, I believe, with the Jets. The Denver, they had a coach, Vance Johnson, or Joseph, whatever. He was rebuilding. Everywhere we've gone where we've had jobs, even when Lovey came here, we were rebuilding.
True.
The only one who was put into a winning situation was Jim Caldwell.
Bruce Arians just won one with Tom, and the defense is pretty much still intact. I think he's in a great position to at least, he doesn't have to necessarily win the Super Bowl, I don't think, but if he gets to the playoffs and they compete, I think it's a win for him. But some people may say he needs to win the Super Bowl. I don't think so. As long as if they don't make the playoffs, this could be bad for African American coaches.
They need to win the division.
Yeah, absolutely.
That division's wide open.
Absolutely.
There's no one in that division that should beat them.
And they need to be one of the top 2 or 3 teams.
No, top 2
in the league.
NFC.
Yeah, in the NFC.
For sure.
Absolutely.
They should not be worse than 2.
No, they shouldn't. But we don't know. Teams may emerge.
And get hurt. And injuries.
Yeah,
and
injuries play a factor. But, yeah, I think he's in a great position. It is a lot of pressure on the brother, but I don't want to.
Especially when you have 3 former New England Patriots. Not 2 now.
Yeah.
You got 3.
Yeah, but what helps him is the fact that they did not win last year with Bruce Arians.
That does help.
So if he makes the playoffs, maybe win a series or 2, gets an NFC championship, I think he should be okay.